the title of Honorary Freeman of Macclesfield for services to Macclesfield and Macclesfield Football Club. You have done the report for this, haven't you, Laura? Which is fab. There are a couple of things I just wanted to say about this, though. The 4 bullet points on the second page, I think it's really important. I'm going to presume that everybody's read this and been terribly proud whilst reading it. But the 4 bullet points: the preservation of an important community asset, sporting success bringing national recognition. I have to say, it actually brought international recognition. I was interviewed by a French journalist, and we do have a copy of the interview. Increased community engagement and youth inspiration, and strengthening of local identity and civic pride, which is just amazing. You should be very proud. We're very proud, so thank you. Anyway, I have a proposal for this in Fiona, fab, and I take it you would like to speak, Fiona.
Madam Mayor, you mentioned about being interviewed by the French. Yeah, does Rob know that it was front page news in China? And I have a copy of the footballer holding his fist up.
And in Australia as well, and in America.
Right, thank you.
That's fab. And Sarah, you're going to second. Fabulous. You would like to speak?
Yes, okay. So thank you very much indeed, Madam Mayor, for the opportunity to move this proposition to award Rob Smethurst and Macclesfield Football Club honorary Freedom of the Town. And I think the first person I want to thank really was Rob for making it possible. And I'm going to go through a few things, and I'm actually a bit nervous now because I've got somebody who really knows how to mark my homework. So what I will say is if I say something that Rob thinks, oh, that's not quite right, tell me afterwards. But what I want to say is Macclesfield Town Football Club, founded in 1874, went bust in September 2020 after 146 years of operation due to a tax exile owner who ran out of money and no longer paid players their wages. The club was wound up over debts of £500,000. That was a terrible day for Macclesfield supporters and heartbreaking stuff. And we really thought we had lost our football club. We thought that was it. But then along came Rob. He purchased the assets after seeing them on Rightmove. I understand you now the Rightmove ambassador for Rightmove, positive ambassador. And this is what's known as a Phoenix Club, a club that grows from the ashes of a club that goes out of business. And Rob declared his aim to take Macclesfield back to the Football League, the top 4 tiers of English football, where all teams are professional and full-time. But Macclesfield FC then had to start from the bottom of the football pyramid. In the North West Counties League, the 9th tier of English football, which they won in their first season. They were then promoted to the Northern Premier League Division 1 West, also winning that in their first season. And I was delighted in April 2023, as then Mayor of Macclesfield, to hold a civic reception to thank the club, the players, management and volunteers after our back-to-back promotions. And I think Rob thought he wasn't going to get the cut back off me. I was carrying it around, and I think he at one stage he thought I might actually just refuse to give it back, but no. So that led to promotion to the Northern Premier League, where Macclesfield finished second in their first season, and then won the Northern Premier League last season, 24-25, with a record points tally and a record goal tally. And this then meant promotion to the National League North for this season, the 6th tier of English football. All that has been achieved in such a short period of time. That is no mean feat. So Macclesfield started their FA Cup run, we can't not mention the FA Cup, in the second qualifying round in September against Atherton, and since then we've also beaten Nantwich, Stamford, Tottenham, Slough, and then Crystal Palace. Macclesfield's win over Crystal Palace was the greatest upset in the history of the FA Cup, which is famous already for big upsets, as it is. History was made. With 117 places and other teams separating the 2 clubs in the football pyramid, it was a remarkable achievement for a club that went out of business only 5.5 years ago. Now I have to say that I actually held my breath for the whole 7 minutes, 40 seconds period of extra time. My husband kept saying to me, breathe in, breathe in. But then Macclesfield put in a valiant performance against Brentford, and in my view, we're still the better team. Macclesfield's successful FA Cup run has led to extensive media interest and attention, with the football world captivated by the story. Macclesfield is buzzing. The FA Cup campaign has put the town back on the map and instilled great pride and identity in our community. The players, manager, staff, board and volunteers deserve all the credit. Rob, you and they have created history, and we are all immensely proud. So Rob has given our community its club back, and then some more. What he's done for our town, both spiritually and economically, is remarkable. He's ensured the revival of the competitive senior football in Macclesfield, but also the re-establishment of a community institution that inspires young people, brings residents together and promotes the town on a national stage. And Rob, you ought to know that even though I can see into the ground from my house, I still have a season ticket. But your willingness to act decisively at that critical moment for us all represents profound commitment to Macclesfield and exemplifies a spirit of public service that the freedom of the town is designed to recognise. So the Mayor has already gone through the 4 bullet points in our note, but I think they bear repetition because you've preserved an important community asset. The stadium's been there for many, many years. It's there in the. I remember when you showed me and my fellow Cheshire East Council around when the refurbishments were going on, and what a significant asset we have. National and international recognition, increased community engagement, and youth inspiration for girls and boys football is what's so important, that the club reaches out to everybody. And indeed, I understand the walking football is very popular. You know, there's lots of things going on for the football club in the community. But the key thing relevant to this particular award is the strengthening of our local identity and civic pride. So, Rob, you've brought considerable recognition to Macclesfield. You know, the FA Cup run is indeed the icing on the cake. But I did want to look back just a little bit, see what was already achieved by then, because I don't think our cup run, incredibly marvellous as it was, should overshadow what had gone before to get us to this place. People that don't know Macclesfield, people that don't know the history, friends of mine across the country, and even my cousin in New Zealand, were very, very clear that they thought the team played as a Premier League team in the FA Cup. So, thank you, Rob. This is really well deserved. I'm so pleased you've been able to come along this evening and hear us speak about the importance of the club. Because as somebody who's lived near, but I'm getting upset now, you know the difference you've made. Be proud of the difference you've made, because we are so proud of the difference you've made, and that's why we're here tonight to award you this honour. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fiona. That was really, really lovely. Would anybody else? Yes.
I'd like to second the motion. I don't think I can say anything better than Councillor Fiona Wilson, who is also a huge fan, like myself. We were there on Saturday, and been many times before. Again, just to echo the thanks for buying the club in the first place. It was a surprise for her just the next day. Bringing the community asset back to life, as Fiona said, it's a Phoenix Club, and against all the odds, which is written on many a t-shirt and sweatshirt, is to rise up the tables, but also take on the champions of the FA Cup. I too held my breath and paced at those last 7 minutes, and I can assure you, as a woman coming from a town with 2 notorious football clubs, and 2 not far away from here as well, that everybody was watching. All my family in Liverpool were watching, whether they were red or blue, even my mother-in-law, even people who don't normally watch football were watching on that day. There was some cracking views of the Moss, all credit to Councillor Wilson, and I also really want to say thank you to all the backroom staff who stayed, whether they're in the office or on the pitch or with the footballers who stayed with you and with the team continue to strive, doing every little job. And we see them even on match days, behind the bar, or down the Paris, whatever. It is truly a community club. It's more than an asset, it's the heart of the community. And we're so grateful for that. I don't know what I'd do without a football club locally, because you can't get over a politically full of the money. But we do like to go to the game, we do like to support you. We really want the community of Macclesfield to thank you for that, because it has been an inspiration and has given us a tremendous amount of pride. So thank you, Rob, and thank you everyone associated with the club. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mike.
Yeah, as you probably know, Rob and Patrick, that as town councillors, we're all volunteers and we come along and do this job for nothing. And we do have some wonderful staff here. And we do, one of the things I'm most proud of is that we put on well over 20, probably 24, 25 events in the town centre for the people of Macclesfield, and bring those people together. And when they flood into the town, they're supporting the local businesses. And it's things like that, and some of the projects that these councillors take on voluntarily, with the garden work and with projects and supporting the local cafes and people perhaps who struggle in the town. You know, I'm immensely proud of that. And I just get the same feeling now with the football club. In fact, I'm a bit envious the fact that you've been able to get this community spirit that I've been fighting for so hard, and then you created such a fantastic spirit and pride in Macclesfield from so many people who have, look at the crowds now in comparison to perhaps what we used to get in the Football League, and you can see how much pride people have taken and the support that they've given the club, and especially the age range of people that you've got there at the club, from really youngsters and through all of the football teams that you support there. It's been truly inspirational. You know, I go down there with a bunch of friends and we meet every week, and you know, we'll travel home and away sometimes, and really enjoy it. So yeah, thanks very much. That's as much as I can say. I'm very proud of you being an old pupil as well. So, thank you very much for everything you've given to us.
That's up. I just want to say thank you. Seriously, we know how important you are to Macclesfield. Now everybody else knows how important you are, and that's great. You are a very cool chap with a very cool football club, so thank you for that. Right, so we'll go to the vote. Fiona, you are proposing?
Yes.
All those in favour? There you go. Shocker. Unanimous. So we've got no abstentions. Super duper. Lovely. That is carried. Thank you very much. I believe you'd like to say a few words. Or is that, would you not?
I'll certainly say a few words. Yeah, I'll
So
start
you could-
as well. Well, I mean, wow. I mean, you know, from a Mac lad, from growing up in Macclesfield to achieving this is probably, if not, I'll say it's the biggest thing that's ever happened to me. This is the most specialist thing. And you are right. You know, this is about Macclesfield. This isn't just about me. It's you know, this community thing that we're trying to create here in Macclesfield. You know, is so important, and trying to bring people together, and you know, from all ages. And it's so important to me to make, you know, this town be so proud of, you know, a football club, but just seeing that community spirit, and you know, even like the foundation that we've created now, you know, with 300 kids that play at Macclesfield free, who can't afford to play football. You know, it's those things. It's the Christmas dinners that we will do, you know, for the people that can't afford, you know, Christmas dinners at Macclesfield. You know, I want to make sure that continues and happens. But it's about bringing people together. It's, you know, we're you know, it's really hard out there, you know, and I know how hard it is. I come from nothing, so you know, I'm grateful for what I've achieved, but you know, I know how hard and difficult life is, and you it's what you can do more out into the community to help others, because you know it isn't about taking. You know, I get huge pleasure in giving, and I think that's the most important thing. And you know, I just want to say to all of you that you know, it is a huge honour, and it is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me, because you know I would never ever have dreamt this, you know, as a young lad, or even you know from 2 weeks ago. You know, so you know, thank you for the what you guys have done for me as well with this amazing award. It's touching. You know, I have shed a tear because you know it's very emotional to have something like this where you get the support of everybody. But you know we're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna take this club as far as we can take it. But the main thing is it isn't my club. You know, it is a community club, and it's your club, and it's your club, and it's everybody's club. It's everyone at Macclesfield's club to enjoy. And you know, we've just got to all stick together as one, and you know, help each other. And that's kind of my philosophy in life. Is you know, there's always somebody that needs a helping hand, and if we can offer that, then that's kind of my morals really. But anyway, I know I'm going to but honestly, from my heart, this is one of the most amazing moments of my life. Thank you.
I have to say,